Today, I would like to discuss about the remaining parts of the insect circulation. Already, I have discussed about the structure of circulatory organs. So, sole circulatory organs in case of insect is dorsal vessels. The dorsal vessels has two distinct regions. Anteriorly, it is called aorta. And posteriorly, it is heart. Heart consists of a series of dilation and contraction. Series of dilation and series of contraction. This is dilation and this is the contraction. And aortic region, actually, this dilation and contraction is not actually available in the aortic region. Another point is that in the heart region, there are some actually ostia. There are two types of ostia, excurrent and incurrent ostia. But ostia are actually lack in the aortic region. Anyway, the whole hemocoelic cavity is divided into three sinuses by two diaphragm. One is dorsal diaphragm, another is ventral diaphragm. This is dorsal diaphragm. This is dorsal diaphragm. And this is ventral diaphragm. This dorsal and ventral diaphragm actually divided into three sinuses. The whole hemocoelic cavity is divided into three sinuses. It is pericardial sinus, the space between the dorsal diaphragm and the dorsal wall, and the space between ventral diaphragm and ventral body wall, it is called perineurial sinus. And the space between the two diaphragm, that is dorsal and ventral, it is called perivisceral actually sinus. Perivisceral sinus actually alimentary canal pass through the perivisceral sinuses. So anyway, the sole circulatory system in case of insect is actually heart. Of course, it is not a true heart, and the sole circulatory fluid is hemolymph instead of blood. In case of higher animal, it is blood, or say, as for example, in mammal, blood. There is a difference between hemolymph and blood. So anyway, this heart is a contractile structure actually, contraction and relaxation. Contraction and relaxation is assisted by the two muscles. Heart itself consists of a heart muscles, and heart is also actually connected with some secondary muscles also. So when the heart muscles, that means the muscles consist of the wall of the heart or dorsal vessels, when these muscles contract, systole is happen. That means contraction of the heart muscle. Another accessory muscle which are actually concerned with the systole and diastole, mainly these are the accessory muscles attached to the body wall of the heart. So when these muscles actually contract, due to the contraction of the actually accessory muscles are actually attached to the wall, when these are contract, as a result actually diastole is happen. So circulation is actually takes place from posterior to anterior direction. It is the posterior part of the insect, it is the anterior part. First, you see, it is actually dorsal vessels. It is heart. Here ostia is present, but ostia is absent. It is actually aortic region, and the posterior part is generally closed and it is open by a orifice, aortic orifice. It is open. So the contraction is start at the posterior anterior direction. So this contraction and relaxation of the heart actually mainly concerned with the heart muscle. Already I have discussed. So systole is brought up by the titanic contraction of the heart muscles, and the diastole is mainly concerned with the actually related or other accessory muscles which are attached with the heart. So anyway, next is general circulation. Incurrent ostia, these are the ostia. These are the ostia. Already I have discussed about two types of ostia, excurrent and incurrent ostia. Actually, through which blood or hemolymph is flow out or flow in. That means this hemolymph may be flow from the hemocytic fluid to the heart or from the heart actually to the hemocytic body. So incurrent and excurrent ostia. During diastole, this is the ostia. During diastole, incurrent ostia is open. As a result, blood flow actually from the actually hemocytic body or hemocytic sample to the heart. And during systole, actually the heart not actually flow backward direction due to the closing of incurrent ostia. As a result, this blood or hemolymph actually move from the one chamber to the other, and as it is closed in the posterior side of the heart, so it must be moved from the anterior to posterior direction. Generally in many insects actually the heart consists of mainly contractile actually structure, but in some cases it is of course non-contractile. The segmental vessels segmental vessels means the vessels which are actually mainly connected with the excurrent ostia. These are the segmental vessels. These vessels actually extended to the actually different parts of the segmental organ, say wing, antenna, or say suppose leg. So the segmental abdominal vessels and ventral diaphragm and pulsatile organs which are situated at the base of the actually segmental appendages. These pulsatile organs are situated at the base of the wing, antenna, or leg also. These are the pulsatile organs which are actually joined with the lateral vessels. So at that accessory pulsatile organs are capable to pump the blood to the various tubular appendages. These are the tubular appendages, tube-like structure. It is actually tubular appendages, wing or leg or antenna. Of course, I shall discuss later on how the actually circulation takes place in the wing, leg or antenna. So these pulsatile organs or the diaphragm are called actually auxiliary heart, because due to the pulsatile organ and the contraction of the actually diaphragm, also blood flow or hemolymph flow to the segmental organ. So it is called actually auxiliary heart actually. So you see the hemolymph after being discharged at the cephalic region, this hemolymph, when discharged in the cephalic region, this hemolymph must be moved from the anterior to the posterior direction. First from the head to the thoracic region, next from thoracic to the actually abdominal region. So when actually the hemolymph flow from the anterior to posterior direction, there is actually produce a local pressure in the periphyseal sinuses. There is a local pressure because hemolymph continuously being actually flow from the anterior to posterior direction. So there is actually produce a local pressure in between the two diaphragms. So some of the hemolymph actually percolate to the perineurial sinus, and this hemolymph actually assists the blood supply to the nervous system, and other amount of hemolymph must be moved from perivisceral sinus to pericardial sinus, because due to the contraction of the pericardial sinus, when the pericardial sinus is due to the contraction of the pericardial sinus, actually this dorsal diaphragm actually move or bend towards the perivisceral sinuses, just like this. It is suppose this is dorsal diaphragm. When it is contracted, when this pericardial sinus is contracted due to the contraction of the pericardial sinus, the dorsal diaphragm actually move towards the lumen of the perivisceral sinus. As a result, the amount of blood must be moved as the space between the dorsal and ventral diaphragm is reduced. So some amount of blood must be moved from the visceral sinus to the pericardial sinus, and this blood actually enter into the heart through the incurrent ostia. Again, when the blood enter into the heart region of the dorsal vessel, this blood or hemolymph again move from the posterior to anterior direction and actually released in the cephalic region, and this cycle is actually repeated. This cycle is repeated due to the contraction and relaxation, or due to the systole and diastole of the heart. So it is called actually cardiac muscle. So next part of the insect circulation I will discuss in the later class.